Hello everyone, my name is Franz Piri, and today we're going to talk about how to convert, from kilometer per hour to meter per seconds. Okay, so I'm going to show you the whole process and also the shortcut way to do that. Okay, so let's quickly jump in. Okay, so imagine that you have 10 kilometers 10 kilometer per hour, and you want to convert that to meter per second. You want to convert that to meter per second. Now how do you do that? It is that simple. So I'll show you the whole process. So let's start now. We have 10 kilometer per hour and we want to convert that one to meter per second. So now this simply means that we have 1 hour here. Okay, 1 hour. Now how do you convert that one to meter per second? Okay, so I'll put 1 hour there. Let me just write this properly. I'll say 10 kilometer over 1 hour, then times, what are we going to multiply with? Here we need to get rid of the kilometer and the hour there, because we want to convert from kilometer per hour to meter per second. So first of all, we need to change hour to minutes. So it means it's a three three-way process, because we are changing from hour to minute, then to second. But for kilometers, just two-way process. We need to change, or rather convert, from kilometer to meters. So first of all, let us convert from hour to minute. So how many hours make up one minute? You agree with me to say 1 hour? 1 hour is equivalent to 60 seconds, that rather minutes. 60 minutes. Okay, so now I've decided to put the units hour on top there, because I want the units to cancel. So the hour there and the hour down there will cross out. Okay, then again we multiply times. Now this time around, what are we going to multiply with? Here we have changed hour to minute. Now let's change the kilometer to meters. Again, you ask yourself, how many meters make up 1 kilometer? So you agree with me again to say 1 kilometer 1 kilometer is equivalent to 1000 meters. 1000 meters. So again there, I've put the units kilometer down there because I want the units to cancel. So the kilometer and the kilometer there will cross out. Maybe let me just use a different color. Let me use a different color there, so that you clearly see how the units will cancel. So the kilometer there and the kilometer there will cross out. Again, we need to change from minute to second, because we want to change I said when you are changing from hour to second, it's three-way process. So from hour to minute, then to second. So we have just changed from hour to minutes, and now we need to change from minute to second. So again, we are going to multiply that one by, you say, how many hours, or rather minutes, seconds make up 1 minute. So agree with me to say 1 minute. I don't have enough space there. Let me write that properly. So times 1 minute. 1 minute. So 1 minute is equivalent to there. I'm trying to write 1 minute, so maybe you can pardon me on that one because I don't have enough space. So this is 1 minute. I'm trying to write 1 minute there, but I'll just write 1 m. So those are minutes there. So 1 minute is equivalent to 60 seconds. You can see there I don't have enough space, so and that's why. So 60 seconds. So 1 minute there is equivalent to 60 seconds. Again, I want the units to cancel, so I'll cross out the minute there and the minute there. I'll cross out. Okay, so now on top there we have 10, then we have 1000 meters, then at the bottom there we have 60 and 60 seconds. So now when you multiply when you multiply 10 times 1000, obviously you're supposed to get 10,000, and at the bottom there when you multiply 60 times 60 you are supposed to get 3600. So now let me just rub this. Let me rub this because I want to create enough space for working. Let me rub this. Okay, all right. So now we are saying 10, we had 10 on top there, then multiplied by 1000 meters, then over 60, we had 60 at the bottom there, times 60 seconds. Okay, so now when you multiply that one, obviously you are supposed to get on top there, you're supposed to get 10,000. So 4 zeros, need 4 zeros there. So need 4 zeros there. Then at the bottom there we are going to get 3600. 3000 sorry, let me write that properly. 3600. The zero is too big, the zeros are too big. Okay, so at the bottom there we are going to have 3600, and then on top there we're going to have 1000. So the zeros now will cross out. Okay, the zeros will cross out, and then when you divide 100 by 336, you're supposed to get obviously 2.777777. So we are saying when you multiply that one, let me do this. When you multiply this one, sorry, when you multiply that one, 10,000 by 1000, you are supposed, then you divide by 3600, you are supposed to get something like 2 point, let me just get rid of everything so that we have enough space. Yeah, you can see there's no space here, so I just want to get rid of everything. So we are going to have 2 point sorry, that's the point, to the point there is, okay, let me just include this 2 point, okay, again, so we are saying 2 that's way too big, right? That's too big, so let me try to reduce that one, because I'm trying to write a point, but yeah, it's too big for me, not comfortable with that one. So we're saying 2.77777778. Please, you can pardon me on that one. Maybe I'm not, I can write, the I'm not that accurate, because maybe my figures on my calculator are not, the same as these you are seeing on the screen there. So you can pardon me on that one. So when you round off that one to two, rather 3 decimal places, you're supposed to get 2.8 meters per second. So that's the answer. Okay, that's the answer you're going to get. Now there's a quickest way to do that. Maybe you're in an exam and you are not supposed to do all these things. Okay, you need to do this first. Okay, maybe you're in an exam, you don't have to follow all this, you don't have to go all this process, so that would take you a little bit some time, and it's a bit challenging. So you need to be fast, so that you quickly rush to the next question. So now let me just wrap this, and then I show you the quickest way to do that. Okay, I will wrap this. Let me just wrap this. Okay, so now what is that quickest way to do that? So the quickest way is just by dividing by 3.6. Okay, so if you've been given a number, you want to convert any number, any given number, from kilometer per hour to meter per second, the quickest way is just to divide that number by 3.6. Then you are going to get the figure that you want in meter per second. Equally, if you want to convert from meter per second to kilometer per hour, you multiply, because you are changing the units from smaller units to bigger units, so you have to multiply. If you are changing the units from bigger units from smaller units, then you are supposed to divide. So now that number you are seeing there on the screen is constant. That number is constant. Okay, the number is constant. Okay, that number there, that figure is constant. So now let's try some some example there. Let's see. We are going to use that same number, 10 kilometers. 10 kilometers per hour. We want to change that one to meter per second. We want to change that one to meter per second. So now let's try to divide 10 by 3.6. Let's try to divide 10 by 3.6. Obviously you're supposed to get that same figure, right? It's giving you the same figure, which is 2 point, 777 whatever. I'll just round it off to three significant figures because you already know the figure. So you round off that figure you are seeing on your calculator to three significant figures. So obviously it has to give you that figure. That's the quickest way to convert from kilometer per hour to meter per second. If you want to change the units from meter per second to kilometer per hour, you then have to multiply, because you are changing the units from the smaller units to bigger units. So in that case you have to multiply. Thank you very much, guys. If you've enjoyed this lesson, please share, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And please, yeah, like I've said, share to your friends so that they also see and learn something. Thank you very much. God bless you, and see you next time.